All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. Welcome to the weekend. Yes, we have another episode here, finally. I know it's been few and far between. I will skip all the details, but we are jet-setting left and right. But we are getting to the end of Season 5. This coming week is the end of Season 5, and it's March Madness. So that's what we're doing. We're doing March Madness here in the cave, and by that I mean we're going to try to just get some episodes out and see what we can do for how many episodes we can. You never know what's going to happen, but we're going to give it a shot because this coming week will be the last week of Season 5, and then there'll be a little break in April, and we'll figure out if we get renewed for Season 6. All the powers that be are in negotiations trying to figure out if we can renew this contract favorably, so let's stay tuned and see if there's a Season 6. But what are we talking about today? Today we are talking about, I've had this on my list for a while. And I've got people I still have to do episodes with. Mike Murray, you're next, and we're going to fix that soon enough. But I've been thinking about this for a little while. I heard one of these songs recently, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about him. We're talking about Rod Stewart, right? Like Rod Stewart. Do you hear anything about Rod Stewart these days? And I started thinking about it. It's kind of funny about his whole career. But Rod Stewart, Sir Roderick David Stewart, born January 10th. He is 80. He turned 80 on January 10th. And his career goes back to the mid-1960s. And he's been making music for so long. I mean, amazing, right? And if you think about his career from, say, 1988-ish till now, so the last 40 years, it's been a lot of the, slower music, the quieter music, not the rocking music. And that's kind of what we've kind of settled in on for Rod Stewart. But it's easy to forget that he had some pretty strong roots in classic rock, and then disco, and then new wave disco. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. He's a Brit. He was started busking in 1962, joins the Jeff Beck Group in 1967 with Jeff Beck and guitarist Ronnie Wood. That's right, Ronnie Wood. He would go on to a little group called the Rolling Stones. He joins, they had some success there with that band, and then he and Ronnie Wood leave and join Faces in 1969, formerly Small Faces, but Faces now, 1969, and he launches a solo career at the same time. And so in 1971, he's got a hit with Faces, Stay With Me. Think about that song, Stay With Me, when you hear it, and that blistering guitar. We did an episode on that, and that's just amazing guitar work on there. But that's from 1971. Yeah, Stay With Me, and at the same time he has a solo hit, Maggie May. Great song, Maggie May, from 1971, both the same year. Pretty amazing. Maggie May was the B-side to Reason to Believe. Think about that also for a minute. The radio stations picked up on the B-side and started playing Maggie May instead of that single. He's got records coming out, 1976, Tonight's the Night, You're in My Heart, that song, 1977. And then what happens? Disco. And that's where I hear him for the first time in 1978 as a 10-year-old. And that is when the Blondes Have More Fun album, right? And that's Do You Think I'm Sexy, which went to number 1. How could you not know? We were all listening to Casey Kasem, and that song was everywhere. And I just love that song. I do. It's a great song. And of course, now I hear that song, and all I can think of is Mike Myers. In that Scottish accent from So I Married an Axe Murderer singing that song, which I won't replicate for you right now, but you can picture it. I think some of you can there. That one goes to number 1. Hot Legs goes to number 26, and he's getting some pushback from the people who are like, dude, you were in Faces, and you were in the Jeff Beck Group, and you're like a rock and roll guy, and what is this disco stuff? Like, they were really kind of giving him a lot of pushback on that one, but those songs were very successful. Then he takes a little bit of a new wave twist in 1981, and that's still where I'm all about it, because that's me and MTV. 1982, I get MTV. But new wave song Passion goes to number 5. in 1981, and now we're talking about music videos and passion. I loved that song as a kid, and now you forget about that song. Do you guys remember Passion? Raise your hand. Have you heard that song lately? I mean, again, it's probably nostalgic for me more than anything, but dig that song. Tonight I'm Yours in 1981 has Young Turks on it, also a favorite song of mine. That went to number 5. That video was on heavy rotation, and I love Young Turks. It's a weird title, and I don't know that a lot of people like that song, but I sure do, and still do to this day. He plays in the LA Forum via satellite to the whole world. I'm not sure how that worked out, but it was with Tina Turner and Kim Carnes around that time. Pretty amazing. 1981, I think that was. In 84, he continues. I mean, he dominated the 80s with this pop music. It's amazing. Some guys have all the luck. Infatuation, another great song, goes to number 6, and that's Jeff Beck on guitar on Infatuation. And in 1984, I was all about that song. Love that song. This is the pop stuff in me. Then things start to take a little turn. 86, he's doing Love Touch. 88, he's got the album Out of Order with Forever Young, My Heart Can't Tell You No. Crazy About Her, that was a good one. But Forever Young, he ended up having to settle with Bob Dylan because it's a subliminal remake of his Bob Dylan song Forever Young, and he didn't mean to do it. It was just something that happened, and so he shared the royalties with Bob Dylan. And then again, 1990, Downtown Train, he starts doing more of this crooner kind of slower music stuff. There's some good stuff in there, but that's, I think, where people park themselves when it comes to Rod Stewart, and you forget about his classic rock era and then his disco, modern rock, whatever you want to call it, pop rock of the 80s. And that's where we parked ourselves today. And I love a lot of these songs, but your song of the day, because of what brought this on for me, it was going to be Young Turks, but I heard Passion. I played that song again, and I'm like, you know what? That is your song of the day. Passion by Rod Stewart. Do you know it? Do you remember it? Remember Rod Stewart owning the 80s? He sure did. All right, that's your song of the day today. We're at 7 minutes. We're going to close this one out. I'm hoping to get some more episodes in over the weekend. If not, definitely next week for the last week of season 5. I am going to throw some more stuff at you. So whatever you're doing today, I hope it involves music. But today it involves Rod Stewart. Did you see him in the 80s? Did you see him in concert? Tell me about it. Post your comments below. Have a good one. And as usual, catch you on the flip side. Read it in the paper. Hear it in the churches.